All right, welcome to Rock Vegas, everybody. It's Glenn Rockney. Not just Glenn Rockney today. I do have a guest. It's a guest, somebody I wanted to have on for a while, and my first guest is none other than Mark John. How you doing
What's
today,
up,
man? Yeah, so
Good,
he
bro.
is. You can follow him on Twitter. He is at the Mark John NFL. Writes for the Raiders Wire. Do I have that right?
Yeah, Raiders Water.
And what else? What else you got?
I also I work on Expand the Box Score. I actually just got
That's
hired
right.
up there.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So I'll be doing college scouting for them. Checking out all the players, all the guys coming out. I mean, it might not be college football, so I'll be doing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they're right now.
I tweeted about that the other day. I was like, man, what are the draft people gonna do? You know what I mean? Like when you're just the draft guy, because you do NFL stuff, so that's fine. You know what I mean? But like the draft guys, like the Draft Network guys like that, what are they gonna do?
It's just summer scouting, I guess. That's what they have us doing right now, summer scouting. But
incredible.
It's kind of funny when you bring that up because summer scouting last year had Grant Delpit as a top 5 pick, and then he went like the second round.
Yeah, he wishes COVID hit last year. Like, yeah, the man is signing fully guaranteed. He's not. Yeah, if COVID hits last year, that guy is a top 5 pick. I guarantee you. Yeah. I remember seeing the same thing, and I'm not nearly as plugged into that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And then like Trevor Lawrence guaranteed number 1, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm a Trey Lance stan, but he's not gonna have a season to prove himself.
Yeah, probably not. Especially the FCS. They're talking about
no, they don't have the infrastructure for that. But so I have you here because I want to talk about our fearless leader in Raider Nation.
Okay.
I say that somewhat ironically, but his name is John Gruden. If you guys have heard of him, he signed a 10-year, $100 million deal in 2018. Before we go too far into it, take yourself back to 2018. How did you feel about that deal then?
I felt it was a little bit of a reach.
Like a draft pick.
Yeah, I just didn't think that he. I mean, I think there's a reason why he wasn't hired by anybody else. I really deep down, and I mean, he kind of ruined Monday Night Football by leaving too a little bit.
Whoa.
I mean, it's been bad since, hasn't it? Like, come on, bro. Be honest.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying when he got to Monday Night Football, he ruined it. I was like,
no.
I loved him. Yeah, I loved him.
Oh no. I would never say that.
No, it's trash.
Yeah.
You're right.
He was good on a lot of people gave him a lot of shit on Monday Night Football, but I always thought he was great on Monday Night Football.
Very good. So you thought it was a reach.
Yeah, I thought a little bit of a reach. I mean, it was more like I feel like a Mark Davis thing. Like it was like his dream to have John Gruden come back and coach the Raiders, and it was mostly that. But I was not a Del Rio guy, though. I thought Del Rio was not a good head coach, and he just had a team that had talent, and he was just a guy that was just he woke up and the team went out there and won the games for themselves. I kind of feel like it was like that. So when they did hire John, though, I was a little excited because I'm like, okay, what can John do with this group? Then he came in with the blowtorch and just blew everything up. So
she sure did. Yeah.
So,
Fahrenheit 151 just.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe he'd be like a Steve Kerr or something like that. Maybe he'll come in, those guys will be a little disappointing, and he'll take that same team because there was some pieces to build on if he really wanted to, but he wanted to build his own team. So I mean, that was his decision.
Right.
I mean, because I guess he would say this a couple of 8-8 seasons in a row, maybe, but yeah,
I hear you. No, so the way I did was I drank a little bit of the Kool-Aid, but I ran it through like a strainer, like a Brita filter first. You know what I mean? Where I was like, let me take a little sip. Let me stick my toe in the water a little fast. Because look, the way that what sold me was like, okay, if we do become good again, if the Raiders do become good again, there's nothing sicker than when Gruden's the coach and the Raiders are good. There's nothing cooler. Like it's just the fist pump on the sideline. That's where I bit. But then I remember. Because, like, it goes that way when the Raiders add somebody in the offseason and you're excited, but then you read all the media thing and it's like everybody's like, yeah, this sucks. I don't know why you guys are excited. And that's what happened with Gruden. So I was trying to justify it in my head. But then the Mack trade, man. And I wasn't even against the Cooper trade because at that point the season was lost. I really didn't think he was deserving of the money from the Raiders. I'm glad he got it with the Cowboys. I didn't think he was deserving of that money. Didn't look like him and Carr ever really had that, like, just telepathic connection that Crabtree did. So I didn't mind that trade, but the Mack trade killed me. Like in your first year, you know what I mean? You don't even want to see what that's like, you know? Like,
Oh man, I was in Baltimore when that happened. I was in Baltimore with my family when that happened, man. And
was brutal.
I swear I almost got a Ravens jersey, bro. I swear.
Dude, I had one in the cart. I had one in the cart. No joke. I was waiting for him to sign the deal, report to camp, and I'm in. Send it, shipping address, let's go. I had it in the
Yeah.
cart, and it was the saddest remove from cart thing I've ever done in my life.
It was just bad, bro. I didn't. I thought that if they really wanted to pay him, they would have paid him. But I don't think he wanted to pay him. I don't think he even thought about it. I don't think he even tried to put that in his mind. And I always wonder if that was an offensive guy. Let's say that he came in and the Raiders had the most elite wide receiver there is. He would have signed him in a second.
Blank check, yeah.
Blank check. You would have shipped it off. But he didn't see it for a defense end. He didn't want to pay a defense end $23 million. And I kind of understand it a little bit. I mean, it is a lot of money, and the Bears are kind of stuck right now with that money. But they're expecting with the rookie deal to do something with that. But
yeah.
I mean, the Raiders haven't had a pass rush since then. I mean, we had the 2018 pass rush. 2019 was better. Hoping 2020 gets better, but I think Gruden. This is a big year for me for Gruden. Like I see a lot of people talk about a slow start because they want to get rid of Carr or whatever, but I don't agree with that. Nah, he needs to win, bro. Like there's no other way around it. If you're gonna pick Carr to be your quarterback, you need to win with Carr. So that's kind of my thing.
And you had, because they had opportunities to replace him. Even my thing is, he could have just been like, hey, it would have made more sense to me had he come into the Raiders and just said, I need to get my quarterback, and it's not him.
Yeah.
He's not on the roster. Look, maybe I can't cut him this year, but I'm going to put high draft capital into somebody, you know what I mean? And then keep Carr. Look, if you lose your job, you lose your job. That's on you, and that would have made more sense to me than trading. You already know what number 52 was, you know what I mean? You already know what he did. You could just, even on don't even get me started about the surrounding defensive line talent that Mack had when he was with the Raiders. But I mean, even in the in-house moves that Del Rio made, they could have had Danico Autry and Lorenzo Alexander playing with Khalil Mack. You know what I mean? We did not do much to keep Khalil Mack happy here. And I don't believe the rumor of, he didn't want to be a Raider. Bullshit.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that for a second. That's just something that fans heard a whisper of and were like, yeah, that's it. He didn't want to be here. And like I said before, if you didn't want to be a Raider, that says something about us, not him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and it's Khalil Mack, man. I'll never understand that trade. I mean, I get it from the appearance. It looks like they wanted. We got Josh Jacobs. We got all these good players, and we build it from the draft, and it looks good right now, man. But just losing that elite player, bro, was bold. Like that's what I'm saying. You're in year 3 now, bro. Like you can't. There's no excuses. I don't care. You could point to Carr, but he picked him, so that's his man. We roll it
for now. Yeah,
win.
Exactly. Yeah. And so okay, so let's go to last year, right? His first draft. I don't even. First off, okay, 2018. One more thing. So do you think Gruden made the picks in the 2018 draft?
Yeah, I think he made most of them. I mean, the first. Colton Miller was the big one because they really reached on a tackle. It's not to say that Colton Miller wasn't worth the first round pick. Is that they were going to take a tackle at 10 and they're going to take a different one. So that tells me that they're just going for taking the best player available
because they wanted McGlinchey.
Yeah, they wanted McGlinchey, right? So you can't get McGlinchey, you trade back, right? But there's some guys fall to you, like Derwin James fell to them, and Edmonds, and they wouldn't have to pay Littleton $11 million if they draft Edmonds and things like that. So the first round for sure, that was all Gruden. Then there's PJ Hall, which is a McKenzie pick, big time, and I think there's some other. I think most of them probably after that had a lot to do with McKenzie and his scouting department, especially the late rounders. Like they got the guy from Prairie View A&M. That was definitely McKenzie.
Like Quentin Bell,
Quentin Bell. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember. Off the top of my head. So the first round and second round is PJ.
Parker's the worst one to me. The third round.
Oh yeah, that's the worst
Reggie one.
Too.
Worse than any of them.
Reggie and Tom Cable right there, bro.
Yeah. And Senior Bowl shit. Like just being at the Senior Bowl, I think he fell too much in love with the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. And I think, Brandon Parker. He didn't have a good Senior Bowl either, man. I don't know what that was. I don't know what's up with that pick. The athleticism.
Left Fred Warner on the board too. I've talked about it on this podcast all the time. I bet people are fucking rolling their eyes. But no, just leaving Fred Warner, and I want to say Jordan Phillips, like just guys that would have been good, especially Fred Warner.
Yeah. So, Jordan Phillips is really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, better than, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, even if he wasn't that good, it's better, than a guy who probably won't even make the team this year. I don't think he will, honestly.
I don't think he will either.
Yeah.
David Sharp is
and they traded up. I believe it was the first pick of the third round, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they traded up. Yeah. So okay. Let's leave that in the past. I don't want the PTSD. I'm shaking a little bit personally, but so then 2019 comes, and this is where your piece comes in. The piece you wrote for the Raiders Wire. Raiders are rolling 6-4, right? It was going into December around there, kind of around that time. 6-4. We're feeling good. I felt like we were overperforming a little bit, but I'm like, hey, this is our coach. This is Gruden. He's winning with
Me too.
That might not be that ready to win, but this is showing really good signs. And then they fall apart in December. To me, I'm thinking, okay, this is a young team. That's fine. Look, this sucks, but we're going to learn how to win eventually. That's fine. I read your piece. I'm not so sure that Gruden knows how to win in December.
Yeah, it's very interesting when I did that research on that, because I was just interested because I've heard about his collapses before, and he had a collapse in 1998. They were started 7-3.
Yeah.
He finished 8. He had a collapse then. That was his first season as a Raiders coach. I mean, he did lose his quarterbacks that year, so I gave him a little bit of a you had Wade Wilson playing quarterback, and you can't.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Wade Wilson.
You're going to pass for that one.
WW.
The big one, though, the big one for me, though, was the 2001. I got a little arguments on Twitter with people about this, and, Raiders fans love Gruden. So that's the big thing. Like, you cannot criticize Gruden at all. He is untouchable. And I realize that a lot. Like, if you try to get in there and try to criticize him a little bit, people get a little upset. But I think the biggest one was the 2001 team. I went and watched a lot of games, during quarantine. I went and watched a lot of them just to kind of get ready for the piece. And that team was really damn good. They should have been the best. See, I think we had this conversation about whether they were Rams or not, right?
Rams Super Bowl should have been.
Yeah, it should have been a lock to that, and the way that team kind of fell off the races, like Rich Gannon, he was fighting MVP with Kurt Warner back and forth that year, and he had a bad 4 games. It wasn't just John Gruden; it was the offense altogether, and then their relationship just kept teetering to the depths of hell. Basically, they kept getting in fights. They call a run play on some play, and they're fighting on this. Rich Gannon's look at him like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So that relationship.
I do that to John Gruden too at home from my couch often, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Rich Gannon does it to him in real life, bro. That's between Rich and Derek. But it followed him to Tampa too. So I mean, it happened a couple times in Tampa, and then he got fired in 2008 because that happened when they started off 9-3 and they fell to 9-7, and they didn't make the playoffs. So I mean, it's a thing. It's not like really. It's a trend. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
And it's we gotta look to like I kind of feel like he's so good from like September to November. Like we might get fooled this year to like something like that 9-3, and then if we get to like somewhere like that, I'm gonna be a little nervous.
I think you're right. Yeah, because I got it here. His record September through November is 86-27, and then his record in December is 20-35.
Yes, so it's 86-67.
Oh yeah, sorry. There you go. Oh yeah. And that's okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I got those numbers wrong, but yeah, it's bad.
He's got a bad record. That's a pretty damn good record. But isn't that crazy how good he is from like September to November, and then December he's just so bad, and it's like a career thing. Like that is 20-35. It's bad, man. I don't care.
What is it though? Yeah, like what is it?
I think he becomes predictable, and he's just so conservative too, man. It's still there. It's really, really a big deal with him not trying to destroy teams. It's always my big thing. He doesn't try to destroy people. He feels like he's trying to grind it out. I want to beat you 24-14, and we don't have the deep anybody 24-14. So you have to keep the attack going. The big one that happened week 16, it was 24-14 on the Chargers, right? And ball back, and they decide they want to run the ball 6 times in a row, right? And then a punting, and then Phillip Rivers, they go up down the field, and they get to kick a field goal. And then, they didn't get the onside kick, but they still kept them alive. Like, they were alive because he decided that he wanted to go home, right? And, you can't do that in the NFL today. It's a passing league. This is not 1998, bro. Like, this is a passing league. Like, if you do that, like, if they go up 10 on Mahomes or something like that, and he does that, I'm going to throw something on the TV. Because just Mahomes, bro, he could score, like, in 5 minutes, 10
Didn't
points.
That happen? Yeah, we were up 10 on him, I think, and then he dropped 4 TDs in a quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's my biggest fear is they go out there, they put a good game plan against the Chiefs. They go up, they're up 10. It's the 4th quarter, and then he just is like, okay, I got to throw the ball for the rest of the game. Or I'm not going to throw the ball past 5 yards for the rest of the game. That's another thing he likes to do, too, is that when they get the lead, he becomes – everything's quick out, little dump-off pass. Everything is set up that way for it to be just for them to be conservative and
safe.
Kind of hold safe. Because to start the game, I mean, he always comes with the aerial attack. And, I'll give credit to Gruden here. I mean, I actually like the offensive scheme. I think what he does in the offensive scheme, I like it. I think a lot of his plays that he does, I'm not the biggest fan of him as a situational play caller. That's the thing. But as a schemer, bro, like, I think that he's evolved a lot. It's like it's modern. He's modernized his offense enough for it to work, and it's working because, I mean, they're 9th in yards per play. They're 5th in ESPN efficiency metrics. It's working. It's just some things that they just follow him, man. And he's so conservative. He's got to break that. Like, he's got to decide and that he's got to attack these teams, and they got to beat teams like by 17 points. Be aggressive, like, all game. You can't just get a lead and decide, like, oh, we're just gonna hang out the rest of the game.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. And what I find funny is, and you had a good thread. I want to say it was a thread. I was looking for a piece, but I think it was a thread that you had where there was a similar play that he always calls in the red zone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like a kind of like a route concept where it's the first route's never there. Like, you were showing it. It's like, no, every game. It's like, no, sorry, I'm not buying that. Yeah, I'm not. And then it's Carr, not the greatest improviser. You know what I mean? And then you're setting it up for the throwaways that I'm still tweeting to this day. You know what I mean? On 4th down. So what is that play? What is that play? I wish I could show it. I don't have it right now. But, like, what?
It's a double jerk route. So usually he does it with a 2x2 set. So 2x2 is 2 wide receivers spread out in shotgun. So 2 wide receivers on one side, 2 wide receivers on the other. So it's 4 receivers split out, right? And he does it. It's a 2x2 set, and the 2 guys in the middle, they act like they're going to do an out route, and then they come back inside. So it's like a double jerk routes, and they do it on both sides, and it's rarely ever there. He's called it in 2018 too. It's never there. And I showed that, like, the first time that he called it, Carr had to buy some time, and he threw it to Foster Moreau for a touchdown. Second time is the only time Carr athleticism off all year and done a Bengals touchdown, and the other 2 times, well, he had to roll out and throw it away. And then the other one, it got knocked down. But, I mean, it has worked. It worked against the Steelers in 2018, but you just can't keep running the same play in the red zone over and over again. Because like Shelby Harris did, he's going to recognize it.
That was brutal.
It's on tape, It's on tape. He's like, okay, they're in the same set. They always are in. When they run this concept, it's going to come out quick. I got to get my hands up.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're right. So, and with the – okay, so I guess, do you think Carr fits this system very well?
Actually, I mean, yeah, I think he does. Not from an under center. I think he's always better from shotgun, right? He's better in shotgun. So I'm not gonna say because Gruden loves under center. So if you look at it that way, then yeah, he's not a fit. If you look at it like he's not a under center play action quarterback, which I don't think Gruden play actions that much anyways. When I watched in 2001, they didn't use play action that much. I don't know what's up with him in this play action.
Weird.
That's a story, especially if you're going to run the ball as much as they do. You're going to run the ball on 1st down that much. you need to do some play action on first down because teams are going to start, coming at you on first down, just going downhill because they're expecting you to run. And that was happening at the end of the year too, is that when he has a stat, I'm kind of going off and off on the red though.
There's no rules here. I don't have a program director. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he has this. There's a stat out there. I don't know. You've probably seen it that how much the Raiders run on first down.
Oh, early passing efficiency. I think right.
Yeah. And they're in the 60s. They run on first down 60% of the time.
PU.
So when you get to week 12, right? You're in week 12 and you've been watching them all 12 weeks on tape, right? You're gonna know what keys they're showing and knowing where they're gonna run. So this way you get the Jets game. Like you go out there, they're just coming downhill every first down and they're just stopping Jacobs and there's nothing that the Raiders can do about it. The offensive line's getting beat up, and it's because the offensive line isn't good. It's because they know you're gonna run the ball on first down, and they're gonna take a guess. And if you're not gonna start passing on first down a lot, or if you're not gonna play action and get the linebackers to suck up, then you're going to have 3-yard losses, and then you're going to have 3rd and 11 with Derek Carr and they're sitting back in zone, and then he's going to dump it off. So and that's kind of what happened in the season, man. They just kind of became too predictable, and that's what happens with John Gruden a lot, is that he's very, very predictable, and he runs the same plays over and like in the same plays, it's like the Tyrann Mathieu play. Like that was a play that they were very successful on the year, but it's week 12, it's week 13.
He's a smart football player. Yeah.
Smart football player. He's good at, they're in this concept. They run every time they're in this situation, they run this certain concept. I understand the routes. Okay, this guy's coming to me. Waller's about to pop off. I'm going to go with Waller, forget my man, forget the seam. I know, and Carr goes there every single time. Mm-hmm. I know what's going to happen. It's more of that, bro. You got to stay creative. You got to keep some, or just be a good play caller, even if you're not going to be creative. You got to be a great play caller then. I mean, because Kyle Shanahan's he's a little predictable too, but he's creative. So it's going to be, you're going to be in trouble if you try to, he's going to call the right play in the right situation and stuff like that. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because like for me, it's one of those things like, okay, the third down dump off play that I see right against the zone that you're talking about, like when it's 3rd and 11, why can't you run that play on first down? I don't mind the dump off. Get the ball in the hand of a running back outside. That's fine. Throw it to your running back. You love running backs. You drafted 124th overall. It was a running back that actually used to line up as a receiver from time to time. Josh Jacobs at Alabama. They used to flex him out wide all the time. Like he was everywhere. He was not just a give me 30 carries up the middle type guy. So to me, it's weird. It's like he waits to do that little like dump off pass, which can get you 6 or 7 yards, especially with the most elusive running back in the NFL per PFF. Like, why not? Why can't we do that?
Well, to be honest, man, I don't know. I don't know what goes on his mind with some of his play calls sometimes. I think but it's all situation. Like it's just like if you're playing, like I feel like he play calls like he has the Bucs defense still in 2002, and we are the Raiders defense. Your defense isn't good, so just like the Texans game. I mean, even some of the play calls they're making against the Texans game when they had the lead, it's like you're playing against Deshaun Watson, bro. Like Deshaun Watson is going to start making some plays, and your defense is hold up. You got to stay aggressive. Like if you're like you might have to go for it on 4th down. You have to feel the game. Like the Titans game too is another one where he didn't feel the game at all. Like the Raiders didn't stop the Titans the whole first half. And the only time they did is when they had a little fluke pop up in the air interception and Maurice Hurst, right? So they're not stopping you. So you go down the field to start the half and then, have this incident where Carr gets sacked, and that's a big player where it talks about, he missed Zay Jones or whatever, right? He got sacked. But you're still on like the 45. It's 40. Like maybe you shouldn't punt. Like you can't stop them anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe that type of is that feel. Like, okay, so I can't stop them. We're on their side of the field. It's 4th and 8. Let me dial up something, see if I can get a first down. Like you got to take those chances when you're trying to win in the NFL today, because the good teams are going to do that. The Ravens are going to do that. The Chiefs are going to do that. Like, but those coaches have better feel of the game. Like. Everybody got on Belichick in 2010 when he went forward on 4th and 2. I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, the Colts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Colts, right? everybody gave him a lot of shit for that, right? But he had a feel for the game, and on the football life doc, he was talking about that. Like, hey, we weren't going to stop the Colts. We could have punted, but they would have scored. They couldn't stop them the last 3 drives. So I'm going to put it on my offense to make sure that we win this game, and that's situational feel. Like, you got to feel that, bro. Your defense is getting murdered, and then what happened is, maybe they got a punt after that, but the Raiders went 3 and out again, and then the Titans couldn't be stopped again. So you just got to have that feel.
I was at that game. I was at that game. Mo Hurst starts it off with a scoop. I'm thinking scoop and score. We're in this shit. Like, we're winning. This is the best game I've ever been to. This is awesome. Derrick Henry's got nothing. What is it? Nothing. And I'm thinking, this is it. We're in. And then, like, A.J. Brown on – what are they on, the 2-yard line? A.J. Brown breaks deep, and it's on Worley, and Worley's just falling down like a 1917, the movie. You know what I mean? Guys running away from shrapnel, and Worley's just falling on the ground. And A.J. Brown walks in the end zone. After that, it's just like one punch is all it takes, I feel like, against the Raiders. And it's just a complete – there's no damage control, I feel like, in a John Gruden team.
And that's what I'm saying, man. It's all about situational play calling with him. Like, he has a good scheme. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good motivator. I think he has a team ready. He has them prepared. Right. He's ready to go. It's the situational stuff with me, man. You got if they can't get that down, man, they're never going to be in the situation where they're winning a whole lot of games until he gets his situational awareness back, or have somebody maybe get a clock coach. Maybe he needs like a situational coach.
Oh, he would never. He would never.
But it's things like that. Like, some coach has that. I don't know which coach it is, but that's like basically taking away your ego and being like, okay, so you help me with my situations. You let me know what's going on. Like, hey, we should do this. We should do that. We should do that. And I got a little excited. I don't know if you saw the tweet about their analytics department, and they're adding like a data scientist. I didn't. I was like, okay, so maybe he is trying to learn and get that situational awareness and stuff. So
I made a joke. I made a joke about that.
Man. I think he's a good coach, but I think he's a good coach, man. It's just little things, man. That bother me about him, and I don't know if those things are going to change. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so before we move on to you're good, right? You don't need to go anywhere because I do have to. I want to ask you a few things. Okay, so
no, we're good.
No, okay, 7-hour podcast. It is fine, but so real fast, 2 more questions on Gruden. 1, what is the earliest they could fire Gruden? And 2, give me one thing to be excited about with John Gruden.
I don't think Mark Davis is going to fire John Gruden
ever.
I don't know. I just don't. They would have to be really bad.
Oh, man.
They would have to be really bad. Think about it. If they're bad this year, right? They're bad this year. They're just going to blame it on Derek, right? So Derek's gone.
Yeah, fall guy.
Quarterback, right? And then, so that how many more years does he get after that? Oh, he's rebuilding with the new quarterback. Then he's going to get some excuses with that, right? And I'm telling you, fans love him. So they're going to give him excuses. If he gets rid of Derek, right? And then he brings in a quarterback, they're going to give him all the patience in the world to build with that quarterback. Like, they're going to be like, well, you guys are key. And, well, it's just a second year. We don't have the best surroundings. Even that's a lie. He got rugs, guys, right now.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be here for a long time. I don't see him getting fired. That's what worries me, too, is that are we going to hold him accountable? And I don't think anybody's really going to do it. And then if you do, people are going to jump on you.
I'm scared to. I'm scared to do it because I know there's no change. So it's one of those things. It's like trying to change something in politics where you're just like, I don't have a say in this. So and look, do I have a say in any personnel matter? No, but contracts weigh in. And the thing that scared me the most about Gruden was the length of the contract. You can pay him whatever fucking money you want to pay him. It's the length of the contract. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, and so I thought it was funny. To me, I still think I could see something happening around like year 6, year 7. And I don't know. I don't know, but because he did leave.
That's 4 years from now.
I know. Yeah. And well, so that's why I don't criticize him that much. I don't criticize him that much because it's too high up there. It's like in the ivory tower. I can't hit it. You know what I mean? Like I do go after Carr because at the end of the day, I want Gruden with his quarterback. And real fast, I know I asked another question. What do you think of this idea where if Gruden tries to find a Lamar Jackson, because I think he runs a great power running offense, and he can create little short, safe passes for them. But at the end of the day, you need a quarterback to improvise and buy time, and that's what I don't like about Carr. It's just like you said with Gruden, it's the little things. I think Carr is very talented. I think Carr can be a very good quarterback. He just isn't, and he doesn't take that next step. Even 2016 was a little hero ballish to me, but he was improvising more than that. He was taking shots down the field more. But what do you think of Gruden just going, hey, I'm basically going to – it won't be Lynn Bowden, but you know what I mean? Somebody like a Lamar, and I know they don't grow, out of the ground like nothing, but I'm saying –
like a Trey Lance. Is that true?
Man, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But
is that trying to get at?
Yeah, but so anyways, that's my number one guy. But somebody where I could just be like, look, let me run this wing T formation and run at him. I feel like that's better for John Gruden. If we have Gruden for 10 years, why not?
See, I don't know about that. I think Gruden kind of likes his passer. See, because I think a lot of people think that Gruden doesn't like Derek, and I'm kind of on the opposite. I don't think that's true. I think he likes Derek a lot, and it might not even be. It's more about because Derek is a coach's boy. Like he's like, do what I say. Okay, coach. Okay, coach. Okay, coach. He's one of those guys. Like doesn't matter what coach says. Hey guys, we got to follow. It's what coach wants. It doesn't matter if it's bad or if it doesn't matter. And he's one of those guys. And Carr is frustrating as hell to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a film guy. I watch a lot of film. He's pretty frustrating. Because I'm doing a piece on the red zone, how the Raiders can fix the red zone. Actually,
sweet.
And I was doing it the other day, and man, he can be frustrating, bro. And I understand it, but. On the other side of it, he does run that offense pretty well. He gets them into the right play most of the time. He'll get to the right read. It's about more about second read or third reads with him. It's like that's when he gets a little jittery in the pocket, right? But it's if John Gruden and him can get the scheme down, they can scheme openings, and Carr's gonna hit him if he gets the right pre-snap read. It's more when you get to the end of the year with him too. He has struggles at the end of the year. That's why it's more of a bad marriage too. To me, is that they both suck at the end of the year. It's that because I don't know what Scar the end. He just gets he just doesn't try to make a play anymore. Like I feel like last year from week 4 to 11, he was actually pretty damn good. He had a passer rating of 110 through that era. They went to, but then he just kind of just became average again. Just became Derek Carr, I guess. I don't know. It's just it's hard. It's hard with him, but I do think that that's the kind of quarterback that Gruden likes. He likes Carr, but he wants Carr to become Rich Gannon and run more a little bit more. But I don't think he wants to find. I don't know where you could find I don't think he writes the running quarterback because I always remember him and Randall Cunningham didn't get along.
Yeah,
that's. Right, that was a bad. They had a bad relationship. He was slandering Randall Cunningham. I was surprised Randall Cunningham came back, but I guess he's, you know that goes. But
yeah, it's interesting because you bring in Mariota. That's why I asked.
You bring in Mariota. See, we can talk about Mariota. I have my opinions about him. I'm not a big fan.
No, neither am I.
I have my own podcast. It's a quarterback podcast called A Little Pocket Awareness to me and my friend Chris. And I slander Mariota a lot. I've been slandering him for about 2 years. So I wasn't very excited about that when they picked him up and how much money they gave him. It's like, crazy. Oh, man. It's just like he's a lemon, bro. He's just shook. He's just shook back there. So,
yeah, it's almost like the same guy. Yeah.
If Carr comes out, that's why I'm kind of just hoping Carr just play well because I don't want to see Mariota because I feel like if Mariota comes in, it's gonna be like it's just like Colt Miller's not gonna be as good. Like we're gonna find out Colt Miller that Carr kind of helps Colt, and whether he actually comes to admit because Mariota has no pocket presence at all. I mean, Carr he's gotten better with his pocket presence recently because he got his ass kicked in 2018. Like you have to avoid it, bro. You got your ass whipped, so you got a little better at it. But Mariota, he just has no feel for it.
No.
It'll be bad if Carr sucks this year. That's why I'm like, if they put all the cards into Carr, I feel like and they put up Mariota, and I think they rushed to get Mariota a little bit. And once they rushed to get him, because I think they didn't feel the quarterback market really well, and I think they rushed to get him, and then that's their backup plan, right? And I just don't know if that's the greatest backup plan in the world.
No, I just wonder like play style, the way that Mariota can create with his legs. I don't think he's not Michael Vick. I just mean, I'm wondering, do you think that Gruden was kind of saying, hey, this is a veteran guy. Like I said, Carr likes, or, Gruden likes MILFs. He doesn't like the new ones. He likes the seasoned ones. He likes the one that have been around in the industry for a few years. So that's kind of his thing. I was wondering if he thought Mariota was like, hey, look, this is the guy. I want Derek to use his legs. This is Derek that uses his legs. I don't think Mariota's as good as Derek personally, but I'm just trying to see from what he sees.
So I got a weird opinion about Mariota. I think Mariota is a Mayock pick. I don't know if that's really a Gruden guy.
Okay.
I think Gruden probably went with it. It was like, okay, hey, back up, whatever, right? But I think that was a Mayock thing. I think Mayock feels like that he could John could tap into Mariota's potential. Because I will say this too, John Gruden's system, it is meant for a little bit of stat padding. It's gonna come with stat padding. It is. And that's why Carr's stats are kind of better than you can even make the case they're better than they ever were before. I mean, besides touchdowns, right? Because it's built for stat padding a little bit.
Okay.
It's that it's set up, the quick passes, the yak after it. The quick slant, you get 60 yards out of it. That raises your YPA way high, makes you way more efficient than you actually are, right? And then, or like just plays like that. The quick pass there, Waller, he turns a 5-yard pass to 16 yards. That's stat padding. That's a stat padding offense. I think Mariota wouldn't be, like, stat-wise wouldn't be bad. It's just the small things as a quarterback with him. Like, people get mad about Carr missing reads. Like, you haven't seen Mariota, bro. I'm telling you, Mariota misses the first one. Carr will miss the second one. Like, yeah, so he'll come see Carr. Carr might not come back. He'll get the first one too long, and he'll get the second one too late, and then the safety will notice the second one, and then the window's closed by the time he gets to it. Mariota gets to the first read, is confused, and then gets sacked. So I think that's the disconnect between those two. But to get to your second question, though.
It was probably the fourth question. I think I asked you like 7 questions at once. So thank you for remembering.
What to get excited about, Gruden? I will say that this offense is going to be a lot more spread out. It's going to be a lot more spread out. It's going to be a lot more 4 wide receivers. It's going to be like that. I think they got the tight ends in there, and they're going to be still going to do the bruiser stuff sometimes in certain situations. But I do think they're going to be more spread out, more out of shotgun. Kind of like 2018, they ran a lot more 11 personnel than they did last year. Last year, they only did it 52% of the time. 2018, it was in the 70s. So I think we're going to see more of that. And, to be honest, I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he was more spread in 2018 than he was last year. And I guess because, Jacobs, and they just wanted to be bruisers in the line. But, I mean, it's today's NFL, bro. I mean, you got to be spread out. So I do think that's something to be exciting about. I think the offense is going to be really good. I think it's going to be exciting that way. I just it's when we get to December and the late in the year, does it keep up with the pace that they're having during the I really feel like they're going to be a little bit explosive. It's going to catch people off guard a little.
Yeah.
People are shocked. But I think that even Raiders fans are going to be a little shocked how explosive they come out. But it's more about, do they maintain that explosiveness throughout the season for me? Because I really do think they're going to come out blazing. That Panthers game, I feel like people are going to be like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay, yeah.
I feel that way. I think that because I think Carr, he's been reading a lot. People have been saying, I think he's a little mad too. But that's what I'm saying. They're going to come out fast. Do they maintain that speed? Because I think the defense is going to be improved too. That's a different story, though. I think
true. When you were talking about continuity too, right? The Raiders and the Bills, I believe, have the most returning players on offense. So this offseason, and that was one of the reasons one of my old episodes, I said, look, I'm down to keep Carr this year, and I'm as critical as anybody. But I'm down to keep him because, like, man, I don't want to start over with a quarterback when you don't even have a chance to even meet anybody till now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, he runs the system pretty well, man. He gets them into the right checks. I mean, the Green Bay run that I always see with Jacobs, I mean, Carr made the check to that run. And, you know, he will never get the credit for that. But he made the check to it. And next thing you know, it's 60 yards downfield. So
you're saying he hurt Jacobs' shoulder? What you're telling me is he got Jacobs' shoulder hurt? This Derek Carr needs to get off of my team right now. I can't believe you said that on this. No, I'm kidding.
It's so true. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he runs the offense, like, and I could tell that he knows the offense really well. I could tell watching on film. Like, last year was some of the best film he put on since 2016. And I really think his stretch from week 4 to 11, he was really strong. And if I think he plays like that for a whole season, the Raiders will make the playoffs. But will he play like that for a whole season? I need consistency from him. Like, I don't need this, like, oh, you look like the Lions game. Oh, you look like you're a franchise QB. And then the Chiefs game, you look like you shouldn't even play in the NFL. Like, give me some consistency, bro. Like, I need consistency from you. I don't need, like, if you consistently give me some good football, and you're not great in every single game, but you're consistently good, and you don't fuck up, you know, then you're fine, bro. But, like, that's what I feel like. Just be solid there. Just be there. Just get to the right place. Get to the right play. Get the ball to these guys. There's fast guys. You got playmakers now, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck.
Naturally, these plays will be more explosive because they added more speed. Naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you don't change anything, even if it's just, hey, there's a bubble screen, but I have the fastest guy, maybe in the NFL, in Henry Ruggs. We'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lynn Bowden. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But yeah, I mean, I think I am excited about the offense. Like I am excited about it. There's like you said, there's that black cloud hanging over us in December, and really you just never know. Like with John Gruden and with Carr, there just isn't the track record with both of them. So I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So we'll see, bro.
So let's go to another guy that you're not allowed to criticize.
I'm not gonna criticize him though, but
no, I do. Anybody that listens to this podcast is okay with, because I'm very critical. But
okay.
So there's about 8 people that listen to it, so they're all okay with this.
Right.
And so Mike Mayock, the NFL Network, the TV combo, the coaches from TV. What have you seen in the first 2 years from Mayock that gets you excited?
I think he's a great evaluator of draft picks. And I think he understands what the Raiders want, what they need, and what fits the coach's systems. And I think he has a great understanding of that. Like Trayvon Mullen, like that pick kind of came out of nowhere, right? And I mean, but was he a system fit as hell, right? So, you know, it's things like that. So, you know, the Cleveland Farrell pick was, well, it was the reach of reaches. I really can't get over that pick. It was a reach of reaches, but I get it because he does fit what Paul Guenther wants to do, and he's like the typical defense end for Paul Guenther. So it's like, I just feel like if Farrell ran the 40, though, he wouldn't have picked him there. I feel like Farrell fooled them a little bit with that one. Farrell didn't do any of the workouts. He kind of just went out there and got weighed, and I think he might have did like a three cone maybe. He did like a vertical, but he didn't run like a 40. He didn't run a 40 at all, right? He didn't run a 40. He didn't do any of the real big drills. Even in his pro day, he didn't do those things. So I think they got fooled a little bit because Farrell's tape was really good. Like his tape,
it's great.
It's great, right? His tape was great in college.
Whipping Jonah Williams' ass, just like that. Oh, seriously.
And he's already a technician. He has great technique, bro. I like watching him because he has great technique. He's just not explosive. Like he's just not explosive at all, and that's his problem. Like, I think if he ran the 40 or ran any of his drills, they could have had him in like the second round. They could have had him.
I think so too.
You look at AJ Spencer.
Yeah.
Vanessa. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's kind of the same way as Farrell, technician guy, got a whole lot of sacks in college, but he ran a 5-second 40, you know? So, and you're like, and you can see that on tape too. He's basically the same prospect as Cleveland Farrell. And he went all the way to number 50 to the Bills. So he'll come in with second round expectations, right? Instead of having the top 5 expectations that Farrell has. Because it's not how bad Farrell played, because he wasn't bad. It's just that he wasn't top 5. No, he wasn't Nick Bosa.
No.
You watch Nick Bosa, and you're like, That's what Nick Bosa is what a top 5 pick looks like. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's not, a lot of fans don't get it. I don't think it's unfair to expect really good things out of your 4th overall pick in their rookie season. Like, why is that such a, like, oh, no, you can't honestly think he was going to be good in his first year. It's like you thought he was going to be good when they drafted him. You talked yourself into it, and now you're, like, walking it back. So, not you, the person listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because it always seems like Mayock, he's like a volume shooter almost, where it's like, okay, give me a bunch of picks. This first one I might clank it off the back rim, but I'm gonna hit like 7 in a row. Like when nobody's watching the draft, I'm gonna hit like Hunter Renfrow, I'm gonna hit Foster Moreau. Guy bet on traits. I'm gonna bet on Isaiah Johnson's traits. We don't know what that is yet, but I like those type of picks. And but these other guys, like early, it's like even Arnett this year, man. I'm like, really? I'm happy. He just got signed today, just signed his contract. He looks very happy to be here. But at the end of the day, we might be having that same conversation that we're having about Clelin Ferrell.
Yeah, and that comes back to the tape again, because he had great tape. Probably had, when I originally scouted all the corners before I went to the Senior Bowl this past year, I had him top 5 just based off his tape.
Yeah.
So he has great tape. Is the 40, man.
And the arms.
And and the arms are short, which I thought they had some measurement things, which each kind of blew me out the water. That means he's purely a tape guy, and which I kind of like. I'm not mad at that, because I do appreciate guys who just off and don't try to go off measurables and stuff like that, because the film will never lie. If he's a baller, he's a baller. It doesn't matter what his measurables are. So it was a reach pick, but I don't know if it's gonna be a reach when he starts playing. I think because like I said, man, Mayock knows that Paul Gunther system probably better than all of us, and he knows what players to put into it. And I think that's his biggest thing. And like, if somebody leaves and they bring a different defensive coordinator, it's going to be Rod Marinelli. We all know
that. Yeah. Spoiler alert. I think so too.
It's Rod Marinelli.
Yeah.
But he's even bringing in guys that would fit Marinelli's system too. So, I mean, because their systems are still similar. It's not a big drop off those two systems between Zimmer, Gunther, and Marinelli. I mean, they're all come from the same tree. So, if he's fitting those guys in the system correctly, it might end up being a good pick, especially at corner.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be the number 1.
Yeah, I mean, at corner. I mean, with speed, you can't ignore the speed measurable, but I mean, with defense ends, it's different. I mean, you can't ignore measurables with defense ends. You can't. I'm sorry. I don't care what you tell anybody. That pick for Ferrell, he was based off tape, right? But you can't ignore measurables for edge players. So that's probably like the only pick that I didn't like for Mayock. I think I appreciate every pick in a different way. I think he's a great draft guy. But free agency, we'll see with Mayock. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say. Yeah. And he. Do you think the way he got brought in was weird to me? Do you think Gruden made that call, like, to bring him in, or was like Mark 100%. Davis just like, is Mark Davis just watching NFL Network like, that's my guy?
Glenn, the Seahawks just got Jamal Adams.
I was gonna bring it up. I was wondering if you wanted to bring it up. That's fucking insane, dude. I just seen that. Jets send safety and 4th rounder to Seattle for 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. Okay, so even they gave picks back. Okay, that doesn't.
They gave him 2 firsts for Jamal Adams. Damn,
I wouldn't have done that.
Their expectations just went up through the roof.
Yeah, he's gonna ball there though. Like, he's gonna look awesome in that uniform. Ball there. That's insane. I wouldn't have done that. Like, I remember Raider fans wanted Jamal Adams. I wouldn't give up 2 for a guy. Honestly, I don't know if Abram is that, but that's what you drafted him to be. So
he could be though.
But they expect him to be that. You don't pick him in the first round if you're not expecting Abram to be that good. So those 2 guys, they don't work as well together. I think that a lot of fans think
they're high on Abram too.
Yeah. He looked good.
So yeah, and I think I'm saying, like, Mayock is pretty good GM, man. I don't think he's a bad GM. I'm not gonna go out of there. I think free agency is probably the area where I would say that maybe he could do a little better, because, like I said, I don't like the Mariota one. I didn't think that was a good idea. I think if they were going to do what they want to do with Mariota, I feel like they should just dump Carr and then just
save the money. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, right? Because what if Carr gets hurt and then he plays the whole season? He's paying him what, like $37 million or something?
To a quarterback position of two guys that have never really done much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if Carter like breaks his ankle or something, and then he's playing the whole year? Then now you got all that money you put in your little incentives. Like, and Jameis Winston got $1 million. He could have had Jameis for $1 million.
I like Jameis. I'm a Jameis fan, honestly. Like, because my thing with Jameis is like, all right, let's light it all on fire. Let's do it. Like, he might have 40 touchdowns for us. It might be the resurrection of him, or it might be like I turn the TV off in the second quarter. I love the volatility of that. So I'm totally in. I'm with you. I wanted Jameis, even though I knew that wasn't going to happen. I just like, no, yeah. Gruden will die on the sideline coaching Jameis Winston. Seriously,
yes, he would.
Yeah,
but that would make it even more exciting for me. That's why I kind of even wanted to.
Yeah, we have to look at his clause and see how to get out of his contract too, right?
That's why low-key wanted Brady too, because I was like, if they bring in Brady will tell me he's an idiot.
Oh, he'll tell him to fuck off. Yeah, sipping a coconut water. Hey, John, why don't you shut the fuck up? I got this. Like, no, I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, and getting back to Mayock, like, yeah, I hate when we did the same thing with McKenzie, right? I don't know if you did, but I did the same thing. I said 2016, he hit a home run. This is our guy. And last year, I think Mayock had a good draft. Sans Farrell, I think it was good. I love Jacobs. I still don't love running backs in the first round. That's always going to be the case for me. But I thought he had a really good draft. But the fans want to crown him, and it's like, I get it. We have a little PTSD from just completely swinging and missing all the time. And I understand that, but I think this is how we get like locked into just like, no, we can't criticize this guy. And he's the GM of our football team.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that people need to be patient. You got to let these draft picks develop. We don't know if they're hits yet. We don't. I mean, a lot of these guys, they had good rookie years, but a lot of people have good rookie years. I mean, they hit. And I think that fans just have super high expectations for rookies too. So like Max Crosby. I know there's a lot of high expectations for Max, and I don't know if Max is ever going to be that 15 sack guy that people think he is.
I like this.
Yeah, and
I like that. I love a spicy take like this because I kind of agree.
And he got really mad at me, right? I mean,
I was going to bring this up. I was wondering if you wanted to talk about it. That was one of my favorite days on Twitter. I loved it. I loved that day. Let me preface this. Right? Let me preface this with okay. So Mark a while back, I think it was in like April or something like that. It was he put up a thing like, "Hey, damn, look at Max. Look how good his rookie year was." Once I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if this is exactly what you said, but he's like, "Hey, he's got a little technique to clean up. He's got to learn a little bit more about football." This is actually something that like Paul Gunther also said during the season. By the way, I actually said it in a press conference. No one cared. And basically what you were saying is he's scratching the surface. Let's see. You know what I mean? Yeah. And fans, you got ratioed. I'm sorry. It happens. You got ratioed.
I got tore up, bro.
You got tore up by Max Crosby, too. It sucks.
Yeah, and it was his brother, too. I think it was his brother was, like, going off on me. And he got offensive because he's white. And I said, heart. That's what – it was the heart thing. Like, white guys – but you're saying that he
Coach's son stays – yeah, I got what you're saying.
He got offended. He's like, I don't just have heart. Because I remember I was going through the mentions when he was like talking about it, and he was like, "Man, they always say I don't have no technique and I just put on heart." I'm like, well, yeah, bro. I mean, that's what you basically did last year. I mean, because and that's what I'm saying. They have high expectations for him, and he's even though he's still raw, bro. Like still raw.
He was drafted as a raw prospect. Like I don't know why people thought he was some technician. Like he wasn't.
I know, and that same guy tried to come on my mentions that day, and he tried to tell me that he's a great technician. I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, why was Larry Tunsil throwing him into the ground every single time?
Oh no!
So it's things like that. It's like if a lot of his sacks come in like after 2.5 seconds, and that's why he's really low on pass rush win rate or whatever. He can get there, but he's not there yet. So we got to lower our expectations for him, because I think a lot of people, if he doesn't hit that 12 sack mark, people are gonna be like, well, he failed his second year, and I don't think that's true. I think that he needs a little more time to develop. Like he's a year. I would expect him to be more the 12 sack guy by year 3 than year 2, and I think a lot of people are putting a whole lot of pressure on him, and I don't think that he needs that. And it's not even like and And that's what I'm saying. But that was a good pick by Mayock, though. That was a great pick because
I loved it at the time. I was like, perfect. Let's get an
tweet.
athletic freak. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say in the tweet. You take athletes.
Late, too, yeah.
What Max Crosby does because he has athletes and he works hard as hell. And I expect him to get there, right? I expect him to get there because I know he works hard as hell. He's going to work hard. He's going to get it. He's going to get the moves. He's going to get the technician. He's going to get the technique. And I expect him to. But I just don't know if it's going to happen this year. But I do expect it around year 3 is where we see the guy that fans actually think he is.
Yeah, and like I said, we're trying to replace Mac so bad in our minds. And it's the same thing with Clelin Ferrell. Hey, Clelin Ferrell had more sacks his rookie year than Khalil Mack. Like, stop it. Look at any other metric other than that, and it doesn't line up. I mean, sacks, a lot of them are based off coverage. A lot of them are based off of like that. Well, win rate is win rate for the most part, right? It depends on who's rating it. But like win rate is win rate. So I see exactly what you're saying. I at the time I saw that tweet and I was like, yeah, cool. You're exactly right. You know what I mean? But then Raider Nation doesn't see nuance.
It was when Max. It was when Max he got offended when it went up. I probably would have been ignored if he didn't say anything. And I thought I was giving him. It
was a good tweet. It was a good, realistic, like almost an outsider from the inside look at like, because you're a fan, right? But you're also, you study the league, right? You don't just study the Raiders. And that's a thing that I was talking to you about it. It's like, you can always tell when somebody only watches the Raiders and then they kind of grade on a curve. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, a 59% grade is a C- to me because I'm a Raider fan and we haven't had a good pass rusher in a long time. And this guy doesn't stink. You know what I mean? And so you're looking at it more objectively. It's like, look, he's got some things to clean up. And then I see all the guys in the mention, no, he did the cross arm, triple bar, 15 backflip. It's like, oh, stop. You don't even know what that means. Like, and so like I would see people do that, and I was laughing my ass off on that, man. But again, another great pick by Mayock. Objectively, it's a good pick already, in my opinion. Like,
it's a great pick, bro. If you get a starter in the 4th round, that's a great pick. He's a starter. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not good, and that's why I hate when you try to, especially the Raider fans. They hate when you analyze their players. I don't know. I don't get it. We not analyze them, but if he was a great pick. Because he's a starter and he's a 4th round pick. That is an awesome pick. Even if he never becomes like Khalil Mack or even Ryan Kerrigan, right? If he just becomes a 10 sack guy a year, gets 10 sacks, great against the run, 4th round pick, bro, nailed it. So that's
I agree.
It is. Yeah, he Mayock nailed that pick. No matter what comes from him, because I know Max can get better, but he nailed it, bro. So and then like Foster Moreau, he nailed that.
That was like my low-key favorite. Just like when you step back, I'm just like, this guy's so fucking good, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't even think – see, that's a guy I don't even think has even – that's why the Jason Witten thing with Mayock. I don't get that. Who made that? I don't know if that's Gruden or I've already gone off on him on this. Yeah, I think it was too. It's that stupid veteran leadership thing, as if Derek Carrier's not a veteran leader on the team. You know what I mean? As if
why do we need Jason Witten? Jason Witten has stone feet, man. He can't move.
And like, look, maybe he does help in the red zone. Look, Jason Witten does do things in the red zone where it's like, I don't know why he's wide open, but he's wide open. You know what I mean? And that does happen. I'll give him that. But like, I think Moreau was the best red zone threat on the team last year.
Yeah, Moreau's a great red zone threat. But that's what I'm saying. If Waller went down, right, Moreau could fill it
easily. He wouldn't yak. He wouldn't have the yak that Waller has. He maybe doesn't. But dude, he had contested catchability, all kinds of stuff like that. They just didn't throw him the ball at LSU. It just wasn't in the cards. He was a blocking tight end at LSU. Had a few really nice plays on film, and I think that caught people's eye. So
because he caught my eye at the Senior Bowl, bro. When I went to the Senior Bowl, he caught my eye because he was destroying linebackers. He was just destroying them just with smooth routes, and that's what I'm saying. I think if Waller ever went down, I think he would be just as good of a target. I'm not gonna say just.
I know what you're saying.
He would fill in very well, and he could catch 60 balls and have 800 yards. Like he's a good tight end.
Yeah.
He could do that for sure.
So that's what you're saying about free agency. You bring in Witten. Like I just that one to me, I thought, like I said, I had to look to see if it was like the fake Adam Schefter account, and I was like, oh, they got me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I guess we have Witten. Oh, good one. But then I'm like, oh no, that's a verified account telling me that we have Jason Witten now. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it was insane to me. And you're getting back to what you were saying about Mayock and free agency. That's a bit weird. Like the Trent Brown is good. That was good. I think you've invested in the offensive line. That's fine. LaMarcus Joyner, I don't get. I liked the player, and I actually thought the signing was fine at the time. But then I'm like, why are we changing positions?
Yeah, he's not.
So
that the Rams drafted him to play and then switched him to free safety.
They knew, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me to pay a guy and be like, hey, I need you to do something else other than the reason why you're getting this contract right now.
They did it with Rashawn Melvin though too. See, that's what I'm saying. Like they signed Rashawn Melvin, he just had a career year, and then they wanted him to do something even good at. So the Raiders have been interesting, man. You know, they frustrate me, but
yeah, I know, man. No,
Mayock's good though, right? I think that he like this year, I thought his draft was excellent. I thought it was even better than the year before. I mean, they haven't played yet, but the strategy and the plan, I liked. I liked the plan. I mean, David Arnett, it was a little reach. I think they wanted to trade back probably, but they liked his tape. They took him, right? And I think he's going to be good. So I'm not going to, knock it. It was just too high for me. And then they got Ruggs, which I think Ruggs was kind of – I don't know if Ruggs was the way Mark Davis talked about it, I wonder if that was a Mark Davis pick. I wonder if that was like –
Derek Carr was a Mark Davis pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think every once in a while he storms in with P.F. Chang still on his face, and he's like, I got him. I got the guy. And they're like, yeah, we know who that is, Marco. We were thinking about it too. And he's like, no, we're taking him. Yeah.
We're taking him at 12.
They already built his thing on the strip. They already built his marquee on the strip. Yeah, they're already working on it. Steve Wynn's already got it on the side of a building, so we have to pick him. So that's kind of what I like. Yeah, I could see that. It's actually a good point.
Yeah, he's Cliff Branch. When I saw that interview with Vic Tafer the other day, he's like, he called him Branch. I was like, oh, that was you. You were like, take Ruggs. Don't take anybody else. Yeah. That's Cliff Branch. Whatever.
I know that was crazy to me I understand Cliff Branch back in the day was that type of guy, but it's like, damn, dude, like I hate when the Raiders personnel, like, and the coaches do that. They're like, yeah, I need you to be Lester Hayes. And you're like, oh, how about just cover? You know what I mean? Like for now it's like, no, like they put these guys on pedestals, man, from guys from like the 70s and the 80s. Always cracks me up.
but yeah, exactly, bro. But the draft this year was good, man. I like Emmett Robertson before. I think that was
God, yes.
Steal. And I Brian Edwards steal.
Yeah, steal. I like John Simpson. I like John Simpson. I didn't love like trading up and stuff. And like I said, the Arnett problem, to me, the problem with Arnett was like, I think you could have traded down at least twice and got the same guy and then not run out of picks on day 3. Because day 3, I love Mayock day 3 picks. I want more. I want like 10 picks on day 3 if I'm Mayock. I want to do the Belichick model. Keep trading back, and like just accumulate picks. I think that's the way Mayock is successful. I just feel like he doesn't see value in the first round, and that's the one thing. But like I said, Amik Robertson, John Simpson, Brian Edwards, Muse, okay, you know what I mean? That's fine. I don't know if I love that pick, but like those 3 guys on day 3, it's like you should try to stack more day 3, day 2 picks, man. Like if I'm them.
Yeah, the Tanner Muse pick was interesting. I actually watched him for the expanded box score. I'm watching this Clemson guy who's bad, by the way. I don't know what's going to happen with Clemson this year, but I'm watching an edge player, so I was watching from the sideline view. I was watching Tanner Muse, and I'm just happy he's not playing safety. That's all.
Okay, so you're saying linebacker that's him?
Yeah, I think that was a smart fit. I don't even know if that's him because he's another guy who didn't do position drills at the combine. He just ran 40. So yeah, he's really fast. Straight line speed, 4.4, but like he's super stiff.
Yeah.
Stiff, and I could just see him like trying to make a tackle. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen what Justin Jefferson did to him?
Oh yeah, I think he's still falling into the locker room. Yeah, no, I think he got the alert that he was drafted as he fell into the locker room from that. Yeah, no, that was hilarious.
That happens.
I remember because when they drafted him, I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, let me pull up a highlight. First highlight when you go on there is him just falling off the screen. I was like, all right, hey, okay, special teams it is, yeah.
or him getting burned by Jerry Jeudy.
So that was one where I was like, okay, I think we messed up there. You know what I mean? But we don't know. He could end up being the best special teams player in the league. You know what I mean? Like I could definitely.
I'm taking him in the third round. He better. I mean,
I think that. And then, already saying, God, you wouldn't believe how good of a special teams guy is. I don't know, man. The third round still means something to me, man. I don't know. Like, invite him to camp, or something.
So I'm saying, like, he better make every tackle on that punt return, that kick return, bro.
I think that was Mayock doing the we need this white guy to really be the glue, the Elmer's glue of this defense. He's going to cover. He does the same thing Isaiah Simmons does. That was the dumbest quote I ever heard. Okay, Isaiah Simmons is also on the field on the same time as him. Like, so how can you say he does everything he does when Isaiah Simmons is doing everything he does right next to him?
Yeah. I think he'll be better than zone. I think he'll be better than Nicholas Morrow, though. I think he'll be better in zone.
I think you're right.
It's just, in man-to-man, like what if, like, Morrow gets hurt or something? He gets a guard, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh boy,
that's what I'm more scared about. Like,
yeah,
one of his interceptions. I'll bring up to him. One of his interceptions, he was playing 1-on-1 in the slot against a safety, against a wide receiver in the slot, right? And the wide receiver burns him. Like his footwork is so awkward in coverage, he almost trips on himself trying to turn, right? But he ends up getting the pick because the throw was so bad by the backup quarterback for Florida State. He just kind of he ends up getting the pick, and he does his little dance.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, you almost gave him a touchdown. Like, if that was just a halfway decent quarterback, we would be watching you running behind the guy trying to catch him,
You almost wish he didn't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You almost wish. It's one of those things.
We were like, yeah, he got 3 interceptions, and then but you watch him against Wake Forest, he's lights out, bro. He had a great game against Wake Forest. But so I think he'll be I don't know if he'll be able to play linebacker though. It's more about change of direction for me. He's just stiff. It's just super.
It's exactly straight line speed. I think he's great, but it's like how often can you run in a straight line and tackle somebody? You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. You eventually got to break down and stop him. So
yeah,
I don't know.
He's not that dude, but
that's
an interesting thing. But Mayock's, I think Mayock's solid. I think he's a good drafting violator, and he knows what's going to fit the Raiders system. He knows what the Raiders need. I just think he does draft for need too much too. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like you didn't need Cleveland Farrell. Sure, did you need to replace Khalil Mack? Yeah, but can you just take Ed Oliver?
That was my guy. Brian Burns and Ed Oliver were my guys.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I don't know why they passed it on.
The dude making the face. Of course, the dude making the face at the draft. That might be the most like my Avi on Twitter is great already, but I would just do that if Cleveland Farrell really bombs out. I'll just for a day put that because that guy was because I wanted him. I like legitimately wanted Cleveland Farrell on this team, but I'm just what the fuck? Like I would take Trayvon Mullen 4th overall or something if you're gonna do some crazy shit like that. Like I that one was crazy. So I think I think value is something that's still coming to him where it's kind of like I have to have this guy, but they're like, yeah, but I don't think anybody else wants this guy right now. I don't think any other team. Look at the teams around you. What do they need? What are they going for? Hey, if they steal him, it's not the end of the world. There's other good players.
Exactly, 100%, and he just kind of just reaches for what he wants for needs, and that's what I think the biggest problem for the last 3 drafts for the Raiders is just drafting for need in the first round. Because you need a corner. The Raiders need a corner, so they took one because they needed one, and they took whoever was top corner on their board.
Yeah, like a shopping list. Okay, let's get a corner. All right. Yeah.
Exactly. Who's the best corner on our board? David Arnett. Let's go ahead and take him.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to take a corner. Like, it's like the Cowboys. They didn't need CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb was there, so they took him.
That's a good pick.
And it's a good pick. And now they got a whole bunch of weapons everywhere. Because that's why you don't draft for need especially in the first round. First round, I 100% believe this. Like, you get to later rounds, like 3rd, 4th, you start hitting some needs and stuff like that for like depth. But man, if you have a great player fall to you in the first round, You got to take that guy. You cannot be like, okay, well, I really don't need a wide receiver though. I'm like, no, you take him. It's like if CD Lamb fell to 19 today, took Arnett, I would have flipped out. I'd be like, no, you take both Ruggs and CD Lamb, and you just go, because then they complement each other like crazy. But Edwards complements. I think Edwards has a chance to be just as good as CD Lamb, and I actually think that he might be better than Henry Ruggs. But I think so too. I think that fans are going to see like that Ruggs is going to be really good in what he does, but I think Carr is going to lean on Edwards.
Oh, he loves a big body. Like to me, it's like basically saying, all right, Carr loved Andre Holmes. Remember how much he loved Andre Holmes? Like to me, like it's like, oh, let's have like a really good version of Andre Holmes, like a really good, because I think Edwards he's so underrated after the catch. Like I don't want to compare him to Anquan Bolden, but I think play style is similar. You know what I mean? And
that was my comparison. So
because I was gonna say Jeffrey, but I don't even know if Jeffrey makes that kind of plays after the catch. It doesn't create his own yardage after the catch. I think he's just like a big contested catch guy. So I do love giving Carr speed because Ruggs keeps the defense disciplined. He doesn't, you can't just cheat up like that Honey Badger route. Maybe if you do send Ruggs deep down the field, Honey Badger can't cheat, you know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. I think there's certain things that can happen with Ruggs. But at the time I was kind of like, damn, man, I feel like he thought he had a more loaded receiver core than he had. And he was just adding the cherry on top with Ruggs. But really I was like, man, we need this big body volume catcher guy. And then when the Edwards pick happened, I was like, okay, cool. This is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I loved the Edwards pick. Loved it.
Yeah.
Man. That's probably my favorite one. I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah. So we'll leave with this one right here. Okay. So Mike Mayock and John Gruden, they're kind of attached at the hip. Do you think Mike Mayock will be here as long as John Gruden is going to be here?
No.
Okay.
Well, unless they start going on a winning type of, because who gets blamed if they don't keep winning?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and because I do see Mayock almost becoming like, just among the fans. I don't know how it is in the organization, but I do kind of see him as kind of like the guy that's like, even the fans that might have been a little sour on Gruden, they're like, okay, but we have Mayock. You know what I mean? Like Mayock's keeping him in line. Mayock knows what Gruden wants more than Gruden knows what he wants, which I think is true, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, part of me thinks, I think you're right. Like if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet that like we probably get 2 or 3 GMs during Gruden's tenure with the Raiders. But I will say, I think that Mark Davis will get so excited if they even have one winning season and give Mayock like hey, you can stay as long as you want. Like type of thing. So I that's my take on it. But do you really think that I don't think Mayock's leash is that short, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think his leash short leash, but if I just had a bet like who would make it, I would say Mayock out before, either because he just gets tired of it or they want him out. I think that's a big thing. And, it's kind of funny. You brought up contracts. Let me ask you this question. Do you think if Carr has a good year, do you think he gets another contract? Do you think he gets one?
Oh, yeah. If they make the playoffs, yeah. They'll fall for it again. For sure. Just getting back with your ex-girlfriend, you know what I mean? Just, hey, let's try this out one more time. Let's try this out one more time. Like, then you go out to dinner, nice dinner and stuff like that, nice night, ends in success. And then you're like, all right, we're back. Yeah, we're back. And totally. And I'll be so, I won't be sad because at the end of the day, it came after a winning season. And if I did see something, I mean, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to be like, hey, is this fool's gold right here? Is Carr actually getting better? I'll ask you. So I'll let you be the one that decides if that's.
I think he's going to mirage just a little bit this year. I think he's going to, because like I said, Gruden's a stat pad in offense. He runs and Carr knows the offense like the back of his hand. I think he's going to have really good stats this year. I don't know if it's going to equal out to wins.
Yeah.
My issue. But if they make the playoffs and they're like 10-6, 11-5, oh yeah, he's getting.
I think so. How can you not? Yeah, no. How can you not? Like, I know how I couldn't, but I'm just looking from their perspective. It's like, yeah, 17 out of the last 18 years been terrible. We're letting this guy go. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. It won't happen. I don't think it will. Now, what do you do with Mariota? You have to cut him right away because you're definitely not going to do a new Carr contract and then have $10 million on the books for Mariota next year because that's what it turns into. So you have to cut Mariota at that point. So and then you can't draft the guy because you just gave the other guy your money and you're going, what? I'm going to make your seat hot now. So that would be an underrated, shitty scenario to be in.
and that's what I'm kind of I kind of think might happen. Because I do think the Raiders are going to be they're going to be decent this year. I think they're going to.
What's your record prediction?
I think they're going to go 10-6.
Ooh.
I think they're really going to do that. I think they're going to.
Okay.
But what I'm telling you, I think is happen is they're going to start really fast and they're going to just fucking go like 4-4, like the end of the year. It's going to be one of them ugly things, and we're just all upset.
And then he gets the Kirk Cousins.
6-2. We're up to the 6-2 team.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm telling you, that's what I think is going to happen. They're kind of like backpedal into the playoff. Like they'll have the wild card, but like they'll lose the last game. So, but they'll have the wild card still. So they'll drop from like 5-6 or something, and then end up having to go play the Chiefs or something, because the Chiefs would go like 11. Because what's going to happen is the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to be like a 14-2 team. Like I know everybody loves Mahomes and stuff like that, but I think there's going to be around that 12-4, 11-5, and I do not want to see the Raiders go to Arrowhead for a wild card game. Do not want to see it.
Oh boy. For them, like, get the bye. I'd be like, if they were winning the division, I'm like, go for the bye, get the bye, Chiefs. Let me win a game. Let me win a playoff game. That's all I want. Just one. I mean, I would root for, like, honestly, I'm that weird of a fan. Like, I'd be like, go Chiefs, let's go, let's knock out this wild, get this bye, lock that division down. If I knew the Raiders couldn't win it and I knew they already had the wild card, I would hope the Chiefs had a bye, because I'm the exact same way. Going to Arrowhead, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, like no.
January?
Yeah, in January. Yeah, well, then that contract doesn't happen. I don't think so. Yeah, if that's the case, because you can't even defend that at this point, even if you're the most car aficionado of all time. But
yeah,
nonetheless, man, it was great. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
No problem, dude.
Yeah, it was a long time coming, and first guest. I've never had a guest, so again, if this audio didn't come out good, this is completely on me. I can confirm it was recording, so that's a good step.
Okay.
But you could follow Mark John on Twitter, the Mark John NFL. Please, I'm sorry, say the new opportunity you have now. What is it?
Expand the box score.
Expand the box score. Okay. So pending college football, but hey, I'm sure he's still going to find some work. And and then you have a podcast too. That's correct.
Yeah. A little pocket awareness. It's, on Twitter, it's at ALPA_QB1. I do QB breakdowns, all that stuff.
Good. You know what? It's funny. I think I listened to that like a while ago, and I didn't know who that was. It was like on iTunes. I was like, oh, this is this cool. That's the one that goes. Really? That's the one where you guys go like Marcus, Chris. That right? Is that the?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I have. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
It makes sense. This was like a while ago. You know what I mean? I just like, hey, I'm looking for football, and it was good. I was like, cool. So okay. Yeah. Check that out too. That's funny. So and then you're still on the Raiders Wire? Is that correct?
Yeah. I still do Raiders Wire, and I'm doing a piece on Raiders Red Zone issues right now. So I'm just trying to get that ready. I should have that out by pretty soon here. Probably by the time you get the podcast up, that should be up. So.
Well, don't bank on that. So yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let me get the hamster wheel spinning here. So yeah, but no, I'm gonna do that. We had a little technical difficulty this morning, but I'm gonna try to make that disappear in the post production. So thanks for joining me. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Glenn Rockney. I don't know. You might not like half the shit I say. So unfortunately, and if you're a cynical Raider fan and a hardcore capitalist, you definitely won't like me. So
exactly.
Yeah, you definitely won't like me. So, but nonetheless, Mark needs more followers because he's football. He's all business. You know what I'm saying? So Mark needs more followers. Definitely should be up there with the Vic Tafers, Tashawn Reeds, all those guys. Will be, in my opinion. So, but nonetheless, follow him. I'll have this podcast out ASAP. This was real fun, man. Appreciate it.
All right, it was, bro. I really appreciate you having me.
We'll do it again. We'll definitely do it again sometime. I want to have BD Williams on here to talk shit on film too. So I want to do like a thing like that, because I don't know shit about all 22 stuff. I'm just a fan. So I like when people come on and try either validate or be like, nah, man, you didn't see that. Like, I like that. So we'll definitely do that coming up. So once again, this is Rock Vegas. Please subscribe on iTunes and YouTube. And yeah. All right, guys.
All right, thanks, man.
Right on, Mark. Take care, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bro. See you, bro.